Hey, what's up, everyone? This is me, Dre. I just want to make this video, this story that I saw on my Facebook feed. It's about Lil Wayne, and he had recently done an interview on ABC's Nightline, and I just want to give my talking points on this, kind of weigh in on this shit. Now, a while back, Lil Wayne, he did an interview, or he was a guest on Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, when they asked him about his music and about race. He said that he didn't see racism because so many of his concert goers and the people that buy his albums are white. The video that I saw, the news clip from NBC.com or NBCnews.com on YouTube, it was a 6-minute piece, and they were talking about various things, in particular how the controversial comments that he made on Undisputed were received by other black people. The interviewer asked him about the Black Lives Matter movement, and he seemed a bit bewildered, like, what is the Black Lives Matter movement? Now, to this, I'm not really sure what's going on as far as how he couldn't know what the Black Lives Matter movement is, but when you see Lil Wayne, at least with this interview, one of the most important things that you see is this man is not of his right mind. Obviously, he's high as hell. He's high as a giraffe's ass. So his confusion about the Black Lives Matter, you would imagine that in the past 3 or 4 years, you'd be at least a bit in tune with the current events of what's going on here in the United States. Unarmed black men and women that have met their demise at the hands of law enforcement, or at least some sort of brutality that they've received at the hands of law enforcement. And that's where the Black Lives Matter movement comes from. Ever since Michael Brown was killed by Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, the Black Lives Matter movement has made their presence known across the country. Some people don't like them. Some people have their strongest support. I do support the Black Lives Matter movement simply because I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to give voice to those who don't have the platform to give their own voice. So Lil Wayne not knowing that is questionable. But here's my biggest thing when it comes to Lil Wayne. I could be upset about Lil Wayne for the dumb shit that he said, and like I said, I don't really listen to his music. I don't co-sign to the shit that he says. He's a celebrity that's not gonna do anything to ruin his endorsements. You've seen him on the Samsung commercials, so of course you know he's gonna get his bit of money from them. He doesn't want to lose that. He doesn't want his white concert goers and the white people that buy his albums to stop buying his albums. So the moment that he says anything remotely quote-unquote pro-black, he's gonna lose part of that fan base that's gonna keep him from earning the millions that he does. Similar to Shaquille O'Neal when he spoke out against Colin Kaepernick, or the lack of any voice when it comes to Michael Jordan. In the light of everything that's happened, all Michael Jordan cares about is people going out. It doesn't matter how much money they have or what little money they have, as long as they buy his shoes. And that's what we're black people. We kind of enslave ourselves to that kind of coonery and bullshit because we don't have anything, or we can't support people like Nate Parker with the Nat Turner movie, but we'll spend our bottom dollar just to wait in line overnight at a shoe store just to buy a $250 pair of sneakers. So there's a lot that could be said about that. But going back and pulling this back into Lil Wayne, I think my biggest problem with this entire interview is, of all the black people that ABC could have spoken to about race relations, about police brutality, about the Black Lives Matter movement, they got this high motherfucker to be the voice of black people. And it was a major disappointment for me just to hear that this motherfucker is so unaware, so oblivious to what's going on in his country. And in the interview, he says the only thing that's important to himself is him and his bitches, or something to that effect. You have to see the interview, and I'll post a link, that way you can watch it. And then of course he goes on to talk about what's important in his life: God, his music, his family, his kids, and weed. And not in that particular order, but it just lets you know the mindset of Lil Wayne. Again, I don't listen to his music. Too much auto-tune, but it's just, I don't share his vision. That's why I don't listen to his music. But again, the biggest thing for me is just, I think ABC News, they could have spoken to someone like Danny Glover. They could have spoken to someone like Denzel Washington. They could have spoken to Will Smith or Jada Pinkett Smith. They could have talked to just about any black person, Chris Rock. They could have spoken to any black person. They decided to speak to this motherfucker because the result that they got, and the reason why they publicize this, is because now you have this coon motherfucker right here saying, I don't think there's a problem with racism in this country. What is the Black Lives Matter movement? You get this from the mouth of a black man. It's no different than Sheriff David Clark or Alan West denouncing a black movement that's supposed to help to empower and lift black people. That's basically what they got with Lil Wayne. They got another token nigga to do their bidding and speak out about against black people, so to say. And again, I understand not all black people care about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm not a gung-ho supporter, but I do understand what they stand for. And my biggest disappointment, once again, is they chose the wrong person to interview to speak about such an important matter. Just to have him during the interview, when you watch his demeanor, it just lets you know certain topics with Lil Wayne should never ever be discussed, especially when it comes to the state of black people. Not taking anything away from his blackness, but Lil Wayne is a fucking coon. It's as simple as that. For him to take the stance that he did, he's a fucking coon. Anyway, if you like this video, hope that you like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook. Peace.